Never thought my life would change because of one quiet night. My name is Adaline. I was 21 years old, a university student, and I believed hard work could protect me from mistakes. I studied nursing because I wanted to help people. I believed kindness mattered. I believed promises meant something. I was wrong. My days were simple back then. Morning classes, evening library hours, late-night coffee that tasted more like hope than caffeine. I lived alone in a small rented room near campus. It wasn't fancy, but it was mine. I had never been in love. Not because I didn't want to be, but because I was careful. My mother raised me to believe that trust should be given slowly. She used to say, "Some people don't break your heart. They borrow it and forget to return it." I didn't understand that then. Until him. I met him through a mutual acquaintance. He was older, calm, polite, the kind of man who didn't try too hard to impress. He listened more than he spoke. He asked about my studies, about my dreams. No one had ever asked me those things so seriously. He never rushed me, never crossed boundaries, never raised his voice. That made me feel safe. We talked for weeks, then months. Coffee turned into dinners. Dinners turned into long walks where silence felt comfortable, not awkward. One evening, he looked at me and said, "I respect you." Those words stayed with me. I told him something I had never told anyone before. "I've never been with anyone," I said softly. "I'm a virgin." He didn't laugh. He didn't tease. He didn't make it awkward. He simply nodded and said, "Thank you for trusting me." That night, I believed him. The night it happened, it wasn't dramatic. No music. No candles. No grand promises. Just quiet understanding. I remember lying awake afterward, staring at the ceiling, feeling nervous but also strangely calm. I had crossed a line I thought I would never cross, and yet I didn't regret it. Before falling asleep, he kissed my forehead and whispered, "I'll see you tomorrow." Those were the last honest words he ever said to me. When I woke up, the bed was cold. At first, I thought he had gone to work early. I sat up waiting to hear movement. Footsteps, a door, anything. Nothing. His side of the bed was empty. His phone was gone. His jacket was gone. So was he. I checked my phone. No message. No missed call. I waited. An hour passed. Then two. By noon, my hands were shaking. I sent him a message. "Are you okay?" No reply. Another message. "Did you leave already?" Still nothing. By evening, panic had settled into my chest like a heavy stone. I realized something terrifying. He hadn't forgotten to say goodbye. He had chosen not to. That night, I cried quietly into my pillow, not because of what happened, but because of what it meant. I had given someone my trust, and he had walked away as if it meant nothing. The next day, I skipped class. The day after that, I skipped meals. I kept replaying everything in my head. Was it something I said? Something I did? Was I too honest, too naive? I blamed myself because blaming him felt harder. A week later, I saw him. Not in person, but online. A mutual friend posted a picture. He was smiling, at a party, surrounded by people. Living his life. As if I had never existed. That was the moment something inside me broke. I didn't confront him. I didn't beg. I didn't ask for explanations. I disappeared from his world, the same way he disappeared from mine. But healing is not quick. Some nights I woke up feeling ashamed, other nights angry, most nights empty. I questioned my worth. I questioned my choices. I questioned whether trusting anyone was a mistake. But slowly, very slowly, I learned something important. He didn't leave because I was weak. He left because he was. Because real men don't run from responsibility. Because honest people don't vanish without a word. because respect doesn't disappear overnight. Months passed. I focused on my studies again. I worked harder. I rebuilt my routine. I learned how to sit with silence without blaming myself for it. One evening, while studying late at the library, I overheard two girls laughing nearby. One said, "He promises everyone the same thing." I froze. They were talking about him. Suddenly, everything made sense. I wasn't special. I wasn't alone. I wasn't the problem. I was just another chapter in his pattern. That realization didn't hurt. It healed. Because closure doesn't always come from the person who hurt you. Sometimes it comes from understanding the truth. Years later, I no longer think of him with pain. I think of him as a lesson. A quiet one. A necessary one. I learned that trust should be protected, not rushed. That promises mean nothing without actions. And that walking away, without explanation, says more than any apology ever could. My first promise didn't break me. It taught me who I deserved to become. And that was enough. I used to think my first promise defined me. That night stayed with me for a long time, not as a memory I wanted to keep, but as a shadow I had to understand. For years, I believed that giving trust once meant losing it forever. I believed that being kind made me weak. I was wrong again. Because time has a quiet way of revealing truth. I didn't become smaller after that night. I became clearer. I learned how to say no without explaining myself. I learned how to walk away without feeling guilty. I learned that silence can be protection, not punishment. I stopped asking why he left. Because the answer didn't matter anymore. Some people come into your life not to stay, but to teach you who you should never become. He taught me that love without responsibility is empty, that words without presence are lies, and that disappearing is the loudest confession of character. One evening, years later, I passed the same street where we once walked together. I didn't stop. I didn't look back. My heart didn't race. I felt nothing. And that's how I knew I had healed. I didn't lose my dignity that night. I didn't lose my future. I didn't lose myself. I simply gave my trust to the wrong person once and learned to guard it wisely after. Some lessons are painful. Some lessons are quiet. But the most important ones change the way you choose forever. And that night was the moment my life stopped being innocent and started being strong.